Awesome. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Inside Scoop podcast with Jackson and myself. Today we have another special guest, as usual, Zarko Ubiparip. Zarko's playing in Serbia right now, where I think you've been for the last few years. And then he's also with the Serbian national team. It's kind of a fresh national team. You can talk about that. But anyways, yeah, Zarko, kind of take it away. Give us a quick debrief about yourself, where you're playing, how long you've been playing pro. Just a quick spiel.
Yeah, so for the people that don't know, so I finished my third year at Guelph, and that's when kind of COVID started. And then we all know how that went, where they said that there isn't gonna be a season for the next year, and just to do school online and not play volleyball wasn't really part of my plan. So then I thought, what should I do? I was thinking Quebec, the full-time training center, and then I was also thinking Serbia. My goal was obviously at the end of my university career to go play in Serbia. I thought that was like my next step because I wanted to play pro. But then kind of talking about it with my dad, he's like, now's your opportunity to go now. School's online. So I decided to do that. And I went and signed with a team from where my grandma lives, like close, like a 15-minute drive. So I signed with them for only one season because obviously they didn't know really like how good I was, or even I didn't know myself if I wanted to stay, if I wanted to like come back and finish like fourth year at Guelph or whatever. But yeah, after the season, we actually did really well, winning the Serbian Cup after 43 years with that team, which is pretty crazy. And then I kind of decided, I was like, I think I just have to go with this. No more going back to Guelph. So they wanted me to re-sign, which I did. I re-signed with them for another 2 years. So I finished my one season, signed with them for another 2 years, played one more season, and then I got interest from, didn't do that well, didn't win the cup again, lost in like quarters, I think, in playoffs. But then I got interest from the team I'm currently in, which is the number one team in Serbia, and kind of getting that offer. It was tough to tell my like old club that I'm gonna leave. But for my career and my kind of development as a professional volleyball player, I definitely thought it was the right move. So I decided to go with them and sign with them. And yeah, so now I'm currently finishing up my third year playing pro here with Oka Vojvodina, another team in Serbia. And yeah, playoffs are just about to start, and we're getting ready for that.
So you're like the KD of Serbia. You know, just leaving and join the Warriors, but you just join the number one team. Just hop on the bandwagon so you can go win a chip.
Honestly, I didn't have much of a choice, but even if I did have a choice, I definitely would have left.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to figure out how to pronounce that team name. That's kind of out of my pay range for that one. But yeah, so tell me about so in your first year of pro, like during the COVID year, were you still doing school online, or did you take a halt from Guelph completely during that time?
Yeah. So I kind of, I had to make a promise to my parents. You guys probably know what European parents are, but my mom's like, you're not just playing volleyball. Like you're doing school and volleyball at the same time. And then, yeah, so that's what I did. I kind of, I did like I don't even know if I did a reduced course load my first semester, I think. Definitely the second semester, like the playoff semester. I did, I think, only 4 classes or something. But yeah, I was doing pro and online at the same time when I left.
Yeah, and like how was that like workload? Was that like fine to manage, or did you find any different than like university, or was
it was probably like the toughest year of my life. It was so like it was tough because I obviously left all my friends behind. You know, I left Guelph, I left all my friends, my family. So that part was tough. But then you guys know how like pro is. You practice almost twice a day, every single day. And then in between the 2 practices, that was my only time to study. So I kind of got lucky with the fact that our workouts and like morning practices were at 8:30 a.m. And then our evening practices were at 7. So I had like a big gap to study and then even take a nap sometimes to like rest my body. But it was tough, man. It was literally every single day, morning practice, studying in between, and then practice at night. And then with the time difference, because where I am is a 6-hour time difference from Canada, all my exams were at like 1 a.m. So there were some days where I just had like a game, I'd come home from my game, and then I'd study for like 2 hours, and I have an exam at like 1 a.m. And then I had to like wake up the next day just doing it all over again. But it was brutal, but definitely worth it. Yeah.
No post game beers on those days when you had exams.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
And for me, like I kind of like my 2 hour nap in between morning and afternoon practice. I don't know if that schedule would really work too well for me.
Yeah.
And I had another question here. So, for you, like you said, you're Serbian now. So, do you feel like you're a foreigner out there still, or do you feel like because you speak the language, you have family out there, or do you feel like you're kind of like the Serbians on your team, or does it feel like quite different at times?
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like a foreigner for sure. Which is kind of what made this kind of move to coming to Serbia and playing pro a little easier than obviously like you guys, where there's not many guys that speak English and stuff like that. So it was a little easier for sure. Plus, I think the coaches and like the teammates, they accepted me as like a Serbian, not as like a Canadian player.
Nice.
Because I obviously do speak the language and I can communicate really well with them and stuff like that. And yeah, they kind of just took me on as one of them, which made it easier because they didn't treat me as a foreigner. Obviously, you guys know sometimes how it is. You're always expected to perform and stuff like that. But they definitely like helped me out a lot in the beginning because the switch from uni to pro was definitely tough.
I guess
Sorry,
actually, Logan, you had a question there. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, when you were doing school and pro, were they like accommodating of like your studies and stuff? Because I have a guy on my team here who is doing school. I actually have like 5 guys doing university and volleyball, and they'll just like miss 2 or 3 days a week. They're like, yeah, I have school this morning, so see ya.
Honestly, like even when I was at Guelph, for me, like volleyball was always the priority. Like even if I had class or something, like it was always practice first and then class. So I kind of stuck with that even in uni. I didn't wanna use that as an excuse. Obviously, if I really had to, like most of the time, especially because of COVID, you guys know, like when you email the profs, they're kind of lenient, and I especially made some like cheesy emails saying how I'm playing pro, like this is my dream, like please just like accommodate the time difference for me, blah blah blah. And they definitely did at times. But the rare time I know I had to miss practice or something, it was never a game, but practice like maybe once or twice. And then the coach obviously understood because I told him that it was because of my university degree. So
Nice, that's sweet then. Nice that
Yeah.
you didn't have to like worry about failing out of school just because you're playing volleyball. Then you'd have your mom
Yeah,
and dad
exactly.
beating you.
yeah.
Yeah. And so now with your new team, so you guys played in Champions League this year. Like, kind of take us through some of that. Like, how was playing against some of the best players in the world and some of the biggest competition you could think of?
Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. Like I never even thought that I'd be playing in the Champions League, especially at like this time in my career. But we had Jastrzębski, so the Polish team who Boyer plays for that team, Toniutti, Kleveno, some of the big names. So that was pretty crazy playing against them. I never played against them or did any VNL or anything, so I had no idea what these guys were other than on TV. And I thought they were just crazy on TV. But like honestly, seeing them in person, obviously they are physically dominant, and some of them, and they make a lot less errors. But it's not like impossible to be like them. You know what I mean? Like they're not some like aliens that are just too good and you can never get on that level. I think for sure with like a lot of hard work and dedication, it's possible to get there. But just that level of volleyball to play at, it was just insane because it's not like you can't afford the littlest mistakes. Like you can't afford to not be in the right spot in defense. You can't afford, if you guys even dig a ball, to not set it like well for an attack. It's just like those little plays that I think in university were just like funny and like you move on and it happens. At like the next level, it's just like they're a must. Like if you don't use and abuse those chances, they're gonna make like a 2-3 point lead, and then Boyer's gonna step on the service line and just serve like too long, and then you're down 5 points and you're not getting back in that set. So it was definitely like very interesting and very beneficial, I think, for me to play against teams like that. So we didn't do that well. No one was even expecting us to do well. Our goal was obviously to make it out of the group stage. We beat Montpellier, which Danny Demyanenko plays on that team. I don't know if there's any other Canadians. But yeah. So we beat them in Serbia 3-1. And then we had a second game against them in France. And that was the game. So we were third and fourth in our group. So the first two teams definitely made it past the group stage. But the third ranked team in our group had a chance to go in the TSEV Cup, so the CEV Cup quarterfinals. So that was also a big game for us. Unfortunately, we did lose. We got slapped 3-0. but it is what it is. So it was nice to almost make it to the TSEV Cup. But yeah, so we finished fourth at the end of the day with Champions League, fourth in our group, and honestly a big learning experience from it all. So I'm not sad that we finished fourth. Obviously it would have been nice if we finished third or second or something, but yeah, at the end of the day it was really fun, and I'm so glad that I got to be a part of that.
Yeah, were you pretty nervous going to that first game? Is JW the first game you guys played? How was that experience warming up?
Yeah. So that was a game I actually didn't start in, because that was at the beginning of our season where I was still the new guy, so I still kind of had to prove myself. But the second game, once I became a starter and I went into that game as a starter, honestly, I wasn't as nervous because I was like, okay, we're the underdog. We have nothing to lose, I told myself I'm gonna swing high and as hard as I can, and hopefully the balls go my way. If they don't, it is what it is. But I'm just gonna focus on passing and swinging, and then everything else will happen the way it happens. So
OUA playoffs is more scary than the Champions League game.
I guess we only I guess so. I wouldn't say it's more scary, but
the elite of the elite tournaments.
yeah. There's a difference when you have a chance and when you really we not really have a chance,
Yeah.
And you're playing against Boyer.
Yeah. I remember one play. So this was in Serbia, our second game against them. Obviously I always look at who's blocking me. So it's either Tonuti, which I can use and abuse, or it's Boyer, and I have to figure something out, I remember one time, so he was blocking me. I get set, and I'm okay, I jumped really well. I was seeing cross court so open, and I'm I want to destroy this one cross court, sharp cross. I swing, and out of nowhere, his hands just swoop down, and it was, I think, the biggest block I've ever that someone has made on me ever. That went straight down. There was no chance for anyone to get that up, to recycle. Luckily though, my setter, he touched the net, 100%. He touched the net. In my head, I was I don't think he touched the net. I just think he shit slammed me. So they called for a challenge, and I was okay, this is my last hope, And challenge, we're all watching, and he clipped the net with his boob. So the point went our way, and I was let's go. I was so hyped.
Yeah, only he can do that. Nobody else is clipping the net.
Just no.
Remember when getting pits over was big?
One player, that really stood out for me was Clevino, the left side. Man, I've never seen a more consistent guy in every single aspect of the game, his serve was just every time where it was supposed to. His passing technique, where his passing accuracy was just amazing. His swinging, he honestly, I think, swung as much as he needed to, he didn't need to swing hard at points. He could have just tipped a roll shot, and that's what he did. So he literally played enough to win the game, which was just crazy to watch, in person.
Yeah, he's a complete package for sure. Someone for you and Logan to emulate a little bit, I guess.
Definitely.
One day maybe.
Yeah. And so for your team, I guess the goal for your team is to win the Serbian championship. And how are you guys doing your season in the Serbian league so far?
Yeah, so it was a rough start at the beginning for sure. We didn't really figure out our lineup yet. Some guys came a little less physically, I guess, I don't know how to say it. Like you could tell they were relaxing over the
There were some patties on the team.
yeah, like they're definitely relaxing during their time off. So it was tough at the beginning just to like figure everything out, get back physically. But then when we did kind of get into like our top form, we went on like an 18 game win streak or something. So we've been first place like our whole season. We secured first place I think 2 games ago or something. So we have one more game left, which is this Saturday, last game of like regular season, and then playoffs start literally next week on Wednesday.
Yeah, so long season. How many like games do you play in your season? You must have a lot of teams in your league now.
Man, like this has been like one of the longest seasons I've ever played because we had Champions League games, we had Cup games, we had league games. So at the beginning when Champions League was happening, it was literally games every 3 days, which was just crazy and just physically like exhausting. Yeah. I don't know how many games exactly, but I know like I'm a guy that definitely like stretches, rolls out, you know, like eats healthy, like prepares my body, and I can feel my body physically like just needing a break, you know. So I'm trying to hold on for a little longer just till playoffs end, and then I'll go.
Yeah, you gotta. Maybe you're doing it too well. You gotta do it like the European, smoke cigarettes and drink beer every day.
I know.
Figure it out.
That was definitely like crazy to me when I first came, you know. Mm-hmm. Like when I first signed, I was like, okay, like I gotta be physically ready for these guys, you know. Like I don't know what the level's like. And then they're having like darts and the smoking with the other team they're playing against and drinking coffee and shit. And I was like, man, like I was not expecting this.
Yeah, it's definitely a different lifestyle out here for sure.
Yeah,
I find like sometimes you have the guys they don't take their diet and their drinking and whatever, their health is serious, but like in terms of like practices, in terms of games, they're more serious and more focused, I find, than like Canadian players in terms of
100%, which is great. They like it's like they doze. They know enough how much they need, you know, like they know when they can like relax and whatever, but when they need to focus and be ready, then they are.
Yeah, like they very much separate their off court versus on court. I find like sometimes you have the guy who's the drunkest guy on the team is the guy who's the most intense and most focused in practice.
Yeah.
I have like a bunch of Polish guys I live with, and the one guy, I think one weekend he was telling me that he polished like him and like one of his buddies, between the two of them, killed 3 like full bottles of vodka in like 4 or 5 hours. And I'm like, you know it's 11 a.m. the next day, right? I'm like, how are you alive right now? I'm like, if I drank a bottle and a half of vodka, I'd be in the hospital getting my stomach pumped. I'm like, you guys are
and dude, they come back different. The next day, like, yeah, they come back just normal, like nothing happened, you know?
He drove home from like an hour and a half away. He was up till like 4 or 5 a.m. It's like he's home by 11:30. I'm like, you must have driven drunk. Like, there's no way you didn't.
That's the European lifestyle. That's what the Canadians like don't see behind the scenes.
Yeah, like if I'm hungover, I need like to sleep till noon, do nothing, eat a big meal, and like maybe it'll be fine by the night. But like I'll see you guys, my team, like they'll drink all night and then 9 a.m. practice, and they're the most energetic, like happy people. They'll be like, I'm still drunk right now, but they're like playing really well, and I'm like, okay.
Oh my god.
Let's see if I can do this.
Yeah, I can't. I tried once. Nope.
I won't even try it, man. I cannot function. Oh,
yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, so how many games? You guys must played like 35, 40 games already this season. It must be crazy.
So we have 12. So we have 12 teams in our league. So we play each team twice. So that's 22 games of regular season. And then 8 games of Champions League and then Cup games. So yeah, around 30 to 35 games for sure.
And you're not even started playoffs yet. That's crazy.
Playoffs haven't started yet. Yeah.
And what's your plan for like the summer? Are you planning on playing the Serbian national team again?
So right now, I think the Serbian list of players who are going to get called to the training is going to be released within like a week or 2, maybe even 3. I know training starts May 3rd, and if all goes well and we win the league, that'll end around April 20ish. So not really much time to rest if I do get a call.
Enjoy your 2 weeks off.
Yeah, my plan, like I haven't been to Canada in like a year since last whatever April, May, or whatever. So I really want to go. Obviously, my parents are there and my friends and stuff. So I definitely want to go back and see them and just like relax with all of them for a bit. But if I do get the call to the national team, then I don't really think I'll have the time to come back. Like, it's just not worth coming back. You guys know how it is for a week, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I could come back for 2 weeks, then maybe, but for 1 week, it's too expensive and just like too much traveling, you know? Your
Yeah.
body doesn't even adjust.
No.
Yeah.
Plus the time change is such a pain in the ass, man.
Yeah.
It takes I
Yeah.
don't know, it takes me a hot minute to like get back onto like the Canadian time or like adjust to the European time.
Yeah, I find for me, like, coming to Europe's a lot harder. It's like coming to Canada is easy because I find I can stay up like late pretty easily, but I'm like bad at like going to bed early.
Early, yeah.
Yeah.
And for I think I looked on volleyball. So you're signed to your team for what, 2 more years after the season?
So after this season, I have 2 more years, yeah.
Yeah, and is the goal for you to play in different leagues outside of Serbia once that's kind of done?
Yeah, so so I told you, like, my first goal was to come to Serbia and play pro. I did that, and then after I did get here, my next goal was actually to come and play for this team I'm at now. So I did that too, and now I'm like pretty happy where I'm at. So I don't mind staying another 2 years, just because I just love everything. I love the team, I love the city, the players, everything. So it's really nice. But honestly, I do want to try and play overseas, overseas as an outside of Serbia one time, because I just want to see how other leagues are, how other teams are, experience something different for a bit. And I feel like we have one chance to play pro, you know, so why not try make it to like the best league you can, at least try, and then see what happens.
Now with some Champions League experience and hopefully some Serbian national team this summer, I feel like you'll have teams looking out for you for sure.
Hopefully, yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah. So what's the city you're in Serbia, and how, like, describe the city a little bit for people who don't really know much about Serbian culture or cities?
Yeah. So it's the city's Novi Sad. Like, the population of Serbia is pretty small. I think it's around 8 million or something. So the population of Novi Sad isn't something crazy like Toronto. I think it's only like 400,000 or something. But it's Belgrade is the capital of Serbia, and that's just an hour away from Novi Sad. Belgrade is probably like the number 1 city as far as population and tourist attractions and stuff. But Novi Sad is definitely a close second. It's a lot like cleaner. You honestly don't need a car to get around the city at all. It has everything you need. A lot of university as well, so a lot of younger people. And I think the girl to guy ratio, I think it's for every like 4 girls, there's like 1 guy.
I was waiting for that comment from Zarko.
Yeah, that's perfect for the Saturday night post game then.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my girlfriend will kill me if she sees this. But yeah. It's for the public, like, you know, it's for the people to know if they ever want to sign in Serbia.
When you're looking to set your teammates up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
met the century right there.
Yeah.
So Zarko, there's that big like soccer rivalry between I don't know what the 2 teams are, but you know what I'm talking about. Have you been to one of those games? Have you been to one of those games?
Yeah.
Is it insane?
Yeah,
I've seen
I
like
have.
videos and stuff, and it's like riots, and people are throwing like ripping chairs off like the stadium like bleachers and beating people with it, and like after the game is just riots. Like, is it just nuts?
It's pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I actually took Xander to one of those games. So when Xander signed with Kraljevo Ribnica, where I was last season, we had, I think, this one weekend off or something, and I saw that there was going to be that derby, and I was like, okay, Alexander, I have to take you to one of these, you know? And he's like, what is it? And then he was like doing some like Googling and stuff, and then he's like, he saw like the videos and just like the fans and just the people getting killed, like the news articles and stuff. And I was like, man, we're going, but we have to wear like neutral colors. Like, you have to wear a hoodie over top of the jersey before we get into the stadium, because it's just insane outside. Like the amount of cops, the amount of like mountain police, like with like horses and riot shields and everything is just insane, and it doesn't start just outside of the stadium. It starts like 5 kilometers in each direction of the stadium. It's crazy, you know. So it's literally
I read something. Isn't it like so? It's Red Star and Partizan are the two teams that play in the Belgrade Derby, and isn't it like heard some things in the news that the biggest criminal organizations in Belgrade are actually the hooligans of the supporters of the soccer teams. So it's not only that they're just crazy fans; it's also that the fans are basically run their own criminal gangs as well.
Yeah, and it's all like mixed in with politics as well. Like even as a kid, I've been like a Partizan fan my whole life. So it's pretty crazy to like see it all going down. And actually, what's kind of really like messed up is at the Partizan Stadium. Underneath the stadium, there's like it's like a common area for all the players, and there's like pool tables and like ping pong tables and just like a common area for the athletes. So that criminal organization you actually are talking about took over that common area, and they chilled like underneath the stadium, and like the cops know they're there, the country knows they're there. They do like illegal shit all the time, but still no one can touch them, because they'll just threaten like people's lives and stuff, and they just chill under the stadium.
And does it go all the way up into like the organizations themselves, like the teams themselves, or the teams just turn a blind eye, or they don't want to be involved? They just kind of let it happen.
Yeah, the teams turn a blind eye. Like they all know it's happening, but then again, it goes back to is it even worth like trying to stop it? Like the money that's getting tossed around in every direction. So it's just a tough situation that I don't know like a lot about, but I definitely know that both teams know that there's shit going on. They're too scared to do anything about it.
I don't blame them. Jesus, that is.
Yeah.
The videos. I'm sure the videos don't do it justice, but like, we would like with sport management at Brock, like we would watch videos and you would like talk about it. And I remember Prof showed us a video of it, and it was just like they set like a part of the stadium on fire, like it was literally burning. Middle of the game.
That's like a common thing. Yeah, that's a common thing. Like, I don't remember the last time the game hasn't been stopped because there's too much smoke from all like the fire and the
flares and stuff.
Not the flamethrowers, but what are those factors or whatever? Yeah. From all those, like the smoke, they just toss it onto the field, and then smoke just covers everything. The players can't even see each other, so they can't even play until all that blows away, and it's just a mess. But honestly, the atmosphere is pretty crazy. Like you hear both teams, like both sides of like the fans cheering and screaming, and it's pretty cool for sure.
I'd be kind of scared even as a player, like if you have a bad game, you miss a penalty kick, and like the end of the game, like, is the mob gonna come for you? Like, how's that work?
Oh, I know. So I know for volleyball, one of the guys I trained with in the national team 2 summers ago. So he went from playing for Zvezda to playing for Partizan the next season, and he got like hate messages and like threats and stuff saying like, we're gonna come after you, like why did you do this and stuff like that, and like more other stuff. I don't want to swear on video, but so that's just for volleyball. So I can't even imagine how it is for soccer. There's definitely crazy shit that goes down.
So then, like, given the fans are pretty crazy in Serbia, what is like the atmosphere in like your games like? Do you have a pretty good fan base at most of your games?
We do. So since like the team I'm playing for now, for the last like 6 or 7 years, they've been like champions of Serbia. So they have a pretty big fan base and a big like population for volleyball. So it's definitely nice because we have like our own fans that come, obviously not in the same amount as like for soccer, but it's definitely cool to see them. Like they come with drums and jerseys and the chants they have, so it's pretty cool to hear. And that definitely after a win, when you go to them, like the soccer players do, and like you like start clapping and cheering with them, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Beard, do you want to do... Oh, we forgot to ask him. Zarko, you're going to have to call somebody out right now, but we've done this so far with every guest, and you have to name the worst pepper partner you have had since university. Going back to your Guelph days to now, who is your worst pepper partner?
The worst pepper partner?
Yeah.
I wish you could honestly give me this question in advance, because I'm not afraid to say it. I just have to like think about
Yeah.
who was literally like, terrible.
I think we've got 3 answers for Xander so far.
Yeah.
Xander's been winning.
It's been a common theme.
Really?
Not his ball control though. It's just because he just hits so hard at you right away.
Yeah, like
you
he
know
doesn't have
Xander.
to clean, no?
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
Xander's like 100 or 0. So he's peppering 100 and just banging balls at you, and you're like, oh man, I'm just not warm. But
Yeah.
there's got to be a couple glove
I
guys.
actually do know the worst. I know the worst pepper partner. I don't know if you guys know him, but it was because of what you just said. It was, Samuel Cloak, like our setter at Guelph with the beard in my
Our
first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first year. Yeah. I don't know, Jackson, if you know him, but
No, I think he was before my time.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it's the year before you went to Unim. But he was just the guy where, like Xander, he like has no in between. Like he starts off strong right away, and not only does he start off strong, like for example, for Pepper, sometimes you'll toss it with 2 hands to him or whatever. No, every time you start with him, it has to be like a float serve to him. Like he'll catch the ball. Like if I'll like toss the ball to him to start, he'll catch the ball and like roll it back to me until I like hit like a float to him, and then we'd start like the peppering drill, and then he'd start like whamming like one after another as a setter. And I'm just like there, especially as like the first year, I just had to like take it. I was like, okay.
I'm throwing hands with that guy. Like he's just rolling the ball back in pepper. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
No, sweet guy. Like he was definitely like volleyball was definitely like his life, and he was a really good player.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now. I haven't talked to him, but yeah.
That's funny. Beer, do we want to do the last thing?
Yeah, all right. So we had like each episode we kind of had like a new kind of topic, game kind of thing we've been doing. And today's one is due to the draft, a starting 5 NBA lineup out of professional volleyball players. Who would be your team? And we're going to kind of do it snake style draft, and kind of in our comments or Instagram, we'll have the people vote on whose team they think is the best.
So starting 5 volleyball players, but for NBA, like to play basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we're going to do snake style draft. And I think, Logan, you can go first with your...
Give it to Zarko.
Okay.
Zarko, give it to the guest. Guest can go first.
No, I need like a little idea. So one of you guys go, and then I'll go.
I haven't thought about it either, so this is
Okay,
fresh for me
I
too.
can go first. I'll just go basic. Take Gianelli as my point guard. Setter, arguably the best setter. Easy one right there.
Yeah, a little big for a point guard, but maybe you're going like a big team.
I'm going like Luka LeBron. I'm going big. Those like Luka LeBron style guards right there. Size and the playmaking.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go second here, and I'm gonna take Robert Landy Simone as my power forward. I think that pick and roll threat is going to be off the charts. He's going to average like 3 blocks a game. I think he's going to definitely be a bucket for my team.
Damn, those are two good picks. I'm trying to. The Simone was a really good pick. I think I'm gonna take as like a KD type style play. You can do a little bit of everything, but I'll take Leon for sure.
Yeah.
As like my, I don't know. I guess he can do it like either power forward, small forward.
I'm kind of regretting my pick not taking him, to be honest, right now.
I completely forgot about him, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right, well, we're in snakes. So you got 2 picks here.
Yeah, go again.
1 second. I'm
All
gonna
right. So for my point guard, we all know Luka's a little bit, chubby, but he gets the job done.
I know who you're going with.
I think I'm gonna go with the Checo as my main playmaker.
He's got that craftiness.
Okay,
I like that pick.
I heard chubby, and I thought you were gonna go someone else, and I thought you were gonna steal my pick. But I'm gonna go. I like that pick. I'm gonna go Irvin Engapeth. He reminds me a little bit of James.
Oh yeah.
I think he's got that
point guard.
James Harden. No, like a shooting guard, kind of James Harden. Like point shooting, but think like if you'd like, I think he's like almost identical to James Harden in terms of like what he does in the volleyball court versus what James does in the basketball court. Like super creative, creating new moves all the time. And I think like He's gonna be.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care to do it all himself.
Yeah.
We have 5 episodes out, and I think in 3 of them we're just roasting professional athletes.
I was praising him. I called him fat, but
Yeah, you called him fat.
I don't think he watches this, so I think we should be
Yeah,
good.
we're fine. We're fine.
Imagine you get a DM from him saying like, "What the fuck do you say on the phone?"
It's like, not gonna show my face at Ottawa VNL. Does that massive Russian middle still play? Mazursky or whatever?
Oh,
I guess he does.
I think I'm
We're
gonna
gonna go
run.
into the-
I think I'm going him at my 5. That's a big boy.
that's a big
Yeah.
boy.
Boban kind of style.
Yeah, I got what's that? 1 and 5. Need some in betweeners now. Oh God, man, I do not know volleyball players like at all. You were talking about that guy from that Polish team you played in Champions League, and I was like, I don't even know who you're talking about.
Wait,
Yeah, no idea. Oh, Boye. I'll take Boye. That guy's a stud.
okay. What is your small forward kind of thing?
I'm thinking 3-4, but we'll see how the draft goes. Maybe he'll end up 3 or 4. I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take. I think like my small forward is gonna be a slasher, just dunk every ball, dunk everything. He's gonna like poster everybody. I'm gonna take Namir at my 3.
Pick. He's playing well this season. They're into the semis now for Champions League or finals.
Semis are right now, I think.
Yeah.
All right, you got 2 picks here, Zarko.
I've got 2. Okay, so I'm thinking I need like a 4. So I'm thinking I will be a little biased here. I was thinking like top middles in all of the leagues, but I'm gonna go with Srečko Lisinac for my. I was gonna go with Podraščanin, but he's older. He's more experienced and stuff. I need someone that's like agile, can jump, can swing hard.
You're not going on your teammate Chris Manovic for the Serbian middle.
If you want, imagine he watches this and he's like, "What?" No, I gotta go with my boy because Srečko Lisinac is also from Kraljevo, so the team I used to play for. So he was in his off season. He came to a lot of games and stuff. Really sick guy. So I'll go him with my 4. So right now I have Leon as like my 3-4, and same with Lisinac, I guess 4. I have the Checo. I need like a solid 5.
Need a big boy.
Like,
big body.
Like a big boy. I need like a Jokic, like a guy that's just like.
That's exactly what I was thinking of when I was trying to get mine.
Not many Jokic builds in volleyball.
No, I don't think it would do very well.
I think like Angapeth, just he doesn't have the height.
Yeah.
Back to throwing shade at Angapeth. Nice, guys.
Oh, I could think of one.
I think one that I'm gonna go with. You guys probably this might be odd, but I'm gonna go with Kurek from the Polish national team, the right side.
And are you gonna have him play 5, or are you gonna move Shreko to 5 then?
I'm depending on the day. I need to see like what kind of form they're in. How they're feeling. But I'll put him as 5 right now, and then we'll see.
A little short, I think. He's only maybe 6'9", but I guess like you're seeing that in the NBA now. Raptors only run like 6'9" center.
Jakob Pertl's how
Well,
tall?
I don't know who else is like taller than 6'9" plays right now.
I don't know volleyball players, man.
Yeah.
All the Russian guys. There's some big Russian dudes you could
So there is like Kliuka or something. Kliuka's a left side.
Russian middles. There's probably like 5 or 6 Russian middles that are elite 7-footers.
What about that Russian opposite? Isn't he? Is there some? He's playing for Modena's?
The guy playing for Verona, Maxim Saposko,
I don't know. Apparently, isn't there a 7-footer playing opposite?
7'5" opposite for Verona.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. 7'5".
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah.
And his first game of the season for Verona, he dropped like 45 points or something.
No way.
That's nuts. 7'5".
How old is he?
He's my age. He was in my junior year.
Okay.
He's either a 99 or 2000.
He picked the wrong sport. He should have played basketball.
Man, he'd make
He won.
millions.
He would have made way more money.
Yeah, fast.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think I'm picking a center right now, and I think this guy's just gonna be a paint animal like Rudy Gobert, just getting blocks every day. I'm picking Isaac Santos, the Brazilian middle.
Okay.
Big guy, he's a 7-footer, long arms, athletic. I think with him and Simone in the paint, I don't think nobody wants to go down there.
Yeah, he has experience too. Yeah, that's a good pick. I forgot about the Brazil now.
I need 2-4. I need 2 and 4. All right, we're sticking to Canada for this one, baby. Give me Show on, and I know that guy can hoop too. I've seen him play basketball when he was at Asian Court. That guy was a beast.
Yeah, it's an underrated pick. He's been playing basketball all last summer, so
I know. That's a nice
basketball
pick.
more than other players.
Man,
so.
my team is huge, but I'm going small for my shooting guard. I'm going with that lefty finesse, that James Harden vibe, but just way skinnier. The Cuban opposite, Herrera.
Oh,
He said shorter. He's like 6'7".
Yeah, but he flies, man. That guy soars. It doesn't even matter for him. He's tearing it up in Italy right now, and he's tiny.
I'm looking at your team right now, and like just based on like how I picture they play, I don't think your team's making that many 3-pointers with that.
No, we're big. We're big bodies. We're big bodies.
no, yeah, they're all in the paint. This is all just get the paint.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah, we're bringing her down low, and we're just dunking on everyone.
Okay, well, I'm going to different strategy here. I think this guy's going to be like, I'm having Engapep, kind of like, he can bring the ball up sometimes, but he also can be like shooting guard. But I'm going to take another kind of smaller back row player, and he's going to be like more traditional point guard, shoot threes, pass ball. I'm taking Tanyuti. I think like his setting ability, distribution, I think that'll translate well to like passing. And I think he's a little short, but I don't know.
I'm telling you right now, my team's backing that guy down in the paint.
I don't know. You see, there's some 5'11" point guards that do some damage.
Gianelli's going to eat him, though.
Yeah, but I don't think...
only open shots. He's only taking open shots. He's not doing anything crazy.
He's a purely distributor kind of guy.
Yeah, like he's like making sure my offense runs well, and especially with like Simone and Santos and Demir, they're like he doesn't need to score, and then Engapep is going to knock down like 10 threes a game. So,
all right, so that leaves with me with just a 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Checo, Leon, Zarko, and Keurig.
Okay, so I think this is gonna be like either a really good pick or a terrible pick. But I was thinking I need like a 2, so I'm thinking like a left side. I can do, like you said, a little bit of everything. You know, like he can shoot, he can pass, like he can go into the paint if he needs to. And I think with the Checo too, because I feel like that guy's crazy, just in the head, and just does whatever he wants. I'm gonna have to go with another Serbian, and that's my boy Uroš Kovačić.
Okay,
as the number 2, you know.
Yeah, well, he's played setter, left side. Yeah. He played a game as a middle this year.
Yeah, exactly. He can do it all.
He's a utility guy. You can use him in anything, and he kind of reminds me of like that James Harden creative kind of swag that I think Engapep would have too.
Yeah, man, he played in China. I think it was last season or 2 seasons ago when what's the guy from the Iran, Maruf, the setter? Man, them two, because in China you're only allowed 2 international players. Those 2 guys playing against like all those Chinese players, it was just like funny, man, like what they were doing. This guy was just hitting him in the spot every time, and he was just like, he wasn't even swinging, man. He was just like tooling or tipping to the pot or just like, and they won it all. They won the league. They won gold or whatever.
That's crazy.
Like he's able to see the court a little bit different. He just sees where the holes are. He's like, no, okay, I'm putting the ball right there.
Yeah.
We're more like, okay, I'm going to hit cross. I'm going to hit line. I'm going to swing really hard.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll tip or try to recycle.
I have to.
Please don't put your hands here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, well, yeah, I don't think your team, Logan's very good.
Dude,
I think
I'm bringing that thing inside, and then if I need to, Gianelli and Herrera are knocking it down outside.
No, I feel like that chemistry though, like that chemistry having your team is just terrible.
Chemistry can suck it. I don't need chemistry. I got a 7-footer and then 2 other beasts who are just gonna dunk on everyone. There's no chance I'm losing this. I don't even
like
know
Boyer's a
60%
hothead,
of your team,
and
Zarko.
and Boyer's a hothead, and Muzerski is Russian. So I feel like, you know, some shit goes down in the locker room, man. Like they're not even coming to the game, bro.
Nah.
You have to forfeit.
And on my team, like, okay, Angapeth and Tornuti, they played together, the French national team, for years. They got the connection in the backcourt. They'll be like executing super nice plays compared to like your team. You got a bunch of like idiots, Gronks out there, I think.
God. Oh, the Inside Scoop podcast, just roasting people. If you're on my team, you're an idiot, according to Beer.
Next year?
What was that?
Yeah, Zarko's gonna be playing Champions Leagues next year, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, I heard what you said about me in the Inside Scoop podcast." There you.
And I'll be like, yeah, I'm glad you're watching us in your free time.
Yeah. Oh man, that was awesome. That was awesome. Thanks for coming on and doing that with us, Zarko. That was a lot of fun, man.
Thank you guys. I had a lot of fun. It was nice catching up. I'm glad you guys are doing well.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, well, good luck with the rest of your season. Hopefully, win the title, go back to Champions League, have a great summer with the national team. So, yeah, I hope it goes well.
Sweet, thanks a lot. Yeah,
Awesome.
I wish you guys the best this summer as well. We'll stay in touch for sure. I want to see and hear where you guys are playing next year. Maybe you guys play closer to Serbia so we can like meet up sometime.
Sounds
yeah,
good,
for
man.
sure.
All right, awesome. Thanks again, Zarko.
All right, sweet. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Sounds
All
good.
right, cheers, brother. Have a good one.